Hello guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you just some gameplay and some of the best tips and tricks that you can use when playing against PEKKA BridgeSpam when using 2.6 Hog Rider Cycle. This is one of the tougher, more complicated matchups to actually grab your head around at the start, I think, but after you understand a bit how to play against it, what cards to use, how to defend their PEKKA pushes, how to actually get past their PEKKA in defense, it actually becomes a lot more simple since the majority of these decks follow the same strategy, which is just basically spamming the bridge, just using as many cards as they can to try to get to your tower. As you can see, their first play was actually just a Royal Ghost on the left side and a Bandit on the right side, and then hope that that would reach the tower. Well, in fact, if you actually defended well, you can see that we actually dragged the Ghost back with our Hog Rider, got like 3 hits on their tower since we knew that he could not have Elixir for his PEKKA, and then we just defended the 3 Elixir Bandit with 1 Elixir Skeletons, and then when the Ghost came back from killing our Hog Rider, we just threw him back to the other lane and took him out with a cannon. You can see that if you make these kind of decisions, play calm, and understand what your opponent is trying to do to your towers, to your deck, and to you, you will grab kind of the key to actually beat these decks. So as you can see, right now we're really ahead in damage and kind of winning the game, but you cannot relax in these matchups since they become a lot better in double elixir, and one of their pushes can destroy your towers and your whole game, while since you're a 2.6 Hog Rider player, you cannot actually, it's very hard for you to actually take their whole tower with one push, so you will need to push a lot. One strategy that I really like to use is whenever they're doing a PEKKA push, just using a Hog Rider at the same time which causes a lot of things. Firstly, it causes them to not have enough elixir to use on their push, since they will have to make the decision whether to defend your Hog Rider or to actually keep supporting their attack. However you play it in the same lane, their cards, such as, for example, the PEKKA will start walking back for a bit. If they have any Magic Archer or any Royal Ghost, they will start targeting the Hog Rider or going back a bit, and it will actually buy you time, delay their attack, which will actually allow you to get, for example, another Fireball or another Musketeer and keep cycling for a longer time. Once you get the first tower, as we do right now, it is very easy to actually stall the game, since the PEKKA will take a long time to actually get to the tower, and the majority of these decks have a poison, which does not kill your cannon instantly, so you will be able to use it to defend the battle rams. As you can see in this video, we are going to be facing 3 very different versions of the bridge spam strategy. This one, for example, has a Tornado, which is another counter against the Hog Rider, is a more difficult matchup. But I think instead of having a PEKKA, it has the Barbarians and the Archer Queen. So yeah, you take one counter, but you add like different ones. I think, in my opinion, the best PEKKA BridgeSpam deck is the previous one, since it's the most OG one, the most iconic one, and the one that pros play the most. So you want to focus on learning that one first. However, this was not a bad deck to face either. But as you can see, first, whenever you walk into a game, you just want to test the waters, see what kind of cards they have, see how they will defend your Hog Rider, see how you will be able to defend their pushes, and just prepare for the 2 times elixir, which is when the game is normally decided. For example, now we know he has a Tornado, he actually missed it, and the Hog gets 2 hits. It gets 2 hits, and he had to waste the Tornado, which he missed, and then the Bandit. Again, here you can see that we can, if we get some damage into their tower, we can actually allow his cards to hit our towers just a bit to equalize damage, as long as it is helpful for us to fix our cycle. And what I mean by that is, for example, if they have a Bandit, your best counter against it is 1 Elixir Skeletons. Why? Because it can counter it fully. If they have a Battle Ram, your best counter against it is actually a Cannon, as you saw right there. It counters it super cleanly. So if there comes a point in the game where you don't have the cannon when he's doing a battle ram, for example, you will have to use another card of yours. So one thing you have to do now is actually rebalancing or fixing your cycle is how pros usually call it. And one version of doing that is using not the best cards to actually defend them. For example, we had to defend the bandit with a cannon. And you can allow those cards to actually hit your tower as long as it's not a lot of damage, as long as you're doing even more damage, as you saw with our Hog Rider Fireball prediction play over there, and as long as you actually figure out how to defend those cards with the cycle you have at the moment. For example, over here, we had to use the Ice Golem for the bandit, and then we had to use the skeletons for the real ghost, when it actually should be the opposite way around. In this game, my cycle was broken more than I would like it to be, and this is due to the fact that I didn't really know his deck by heart. The past game I did, since it's the one you face normally, and that is actually one of the benefits of playing decks that people have not seen before. But you can see that so far the game is going so well. We're up in damage. The Magic Archer has not been able to do a lot of damage. Whenever they have a Magic Archer as well, one play I like to do is, as you saw right there, just play a Hog on their same lane. It usually distracts the Magic Archer whenever he tries to focus on the Ice Golem and then hit the tower, for example. Right now we're just 2 fireballs away, and we know that, so he also knows that, so we just have to defend, use some hogs so that he spends some big cards such as the Barbarians, and in this case we're just 1 log away and we have the fireball in cycle, so we will end the game right there. For the third game, we're going to be playing a more similar version to the first one, where it has the E-Wiz and the PEKKA, sorry. And one of the things you have to consider in this matchup is that they don't have 1 hog counter, they have 2. One being the PEKKA, which can actually fully counter the Hog Rider, and you have to keep that in mind. And the second is that they have the Electro Wizard, which can almost fully counter your Hog Rider, as it can defend your Hog Rider and allow it to only get 1 hit, which is a really good defense. We know that he has PEKKA and he has those counters, so that is why we actually, instead of going with a naked Hog Rider to just test it out, we already knew what he had, and we decided to go with an Ice Golem in front to get 1 hit into his towers. Here you can see that the bandit will get a bit of damage into our tower, getting 2 hits, but at least we evaded the dash, which is the thing that actually hurts the most about the bandit. Now he's actually going to be using a Battle Ram, and we're going to throw a Lone Hog Rider so that we actually missed the log right there. You can see that bad play we actually did. Oh, but oh well. You sometimes have plays like those, and if I can win my games by having such bad plays like those ones, I think you can win your games, since you'll most likely not make those plays. But anyways, here you can see that the PEKKA is almost going to hit the tower, and the Ice Golem comes in super clutch just to stop it. That actually saved us the game, because you know that 1 PEKKA hit on your tower is disaster. So right now he should recognize that he's up in elixir by a lot, and we know that he is. So we're going to not play a Hog Rider, play a bit more passive right now until we get up in elixir again. So now he's going to be playing 2 cards. We're going to just drag everything back with the Hog Rider, make sure that his cards are grouped together, and once that they are, we can just fireball and log them away, which is one way in which I told you last game that using the Hog in defense is so underrated. Now we're going to be able to fix our cycle, defend his Battle Ram. It's not a Battle Ram. His Barbarian Ram. What is it called? I forgot what the name of that card is. But now we're just going to cycle a Musketeer in the back. He's always going to play the Magic Archer on the left side of it where his PEKKA is right now. So we have to always have our Fireball ready for that. We actually hit the Fireball. We do the same play with a Hog Rider. And as you can see, that Hog Rider is really clutch since it jumps up right as the Dark Prince is jumping down. So they will never hit each other. And then it will force the Magic Archer to actually jump back. Okay, so now we're going to defend everything over here with a very expensive defense. But oh well, and we're going to prepare for another one of his attacks. This guy's doing something that BridgeSpam players usually don't do, which is he's always attacking the same side, but I think that's because he doesn't have a real ghost. Usually players with BridgeSpam who have ghost will try to attack both your towers at the same time. Look at how unlucky that was. Our Hog actually did not hit the tower, and we're actually forced to play everything to the side so that the Magic Archer does not hit our tower. Over here, he actually takes the damage lead, which is horrible. but we do not lose hope against... Well, while playing 2.6 Hog Rider in overtime, there's always hope, since when you get to ×3 elixir, your cycle becomes unstoppable and you can just do whatever you want. Here we go with an Ice Golem and a Hog Rider push. Our opponent is not playing P.E.K.K.A at all. Okay, yeah. The moment I say it, he plays a P.E.K.K.A. That's very classic. We're gonna do a high value fireball since everything was grouped at the bridge. And that is one play that you always have to keep in mind. Just trying to group his troops as much as you can so that then you can actually fireball them. And you can see the cycle of 2.6 doing its thing right here, since we always have 1, a fireball for his magic archers, and 2, a fireball for defending him whenever he groups his troops. Now we're actually pretty close in damage. We're going to start fireballing the tower to do a bit of cycle damage, and just using the Ice Golem, skeletons, cannon, all our defensive cards to, first of all, cycle, and second of all, take down his towers. Here we're going to do a Hog Rider, which is actually going to get there. So now we actually only need 1 fireball, and that should be game for a very close game for us. You can see there that we send our Hog Rider just to distract everything, and then we win with that. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe, like, and comment.